On this edition of Somerville Neighborhood News, here's the pros and cons of a new fire station on Somerville Ave, get an update on the Tufts janitorial cuts, find out why our record-breaking winter isn't over for many local businesses, and join in the fun at the Somerville Special Olympics. All this and more on Somerville Neighborhood News.
Hello and welcome to Somerville Neighborhood News. Today is June 16th, 2015. I'm Melanie Morris. Somerville Neighborhood News is your bi-monthly newscast and online source for multimedia news. It's a community service production of SCATV, created by staff, interns, and your neighbors. We bring you the news every 2 weeks on Channel 3 and on our website, somervilleneighborhoodnews.org. 21st century firefighting relies on intensive training, high-tech machinery, and the bravery of firefighters. The Union Square station is outdated, the Lowell Street station is undersized. The city wants to replace both with an expanded modern facility at 515 Somerville Ave. Reporter Jillian Frendeck looks into the pros and cons.
Somerville needs a new fire station to replace the inadequate Union Square station and Lowell Street station, but space is always an issue. The city has identified a 1-acre parcel at 515 Somerville Avenue as a prime location. According to Provisional Fire Chief Patrick Sullivan, the currently unoccupied parcel would easily house a 6-bay station equipped with a training facility and space for equipment maintenance.
The Union Square station has been hit with many disasters over the recent years with flooding, very prone to flooding, which caused a problem for storing apparatus so it doesn't get damaged. The Lowell Street station is a single one-story firehouse. It has no basement, no real workshop areas where the firefighters can do their maintenance of some of the equipment. No set training facilities, and they're just inadequate to today's fire service needs. 515 Avenue is a larger footprint than either of these other structures there. If we were to try to recreate what we have at Lowell Street, it would still not be large enough. By having it at 515 Somerville Avenue, we have the footprint that is needed for today's modern fire service.
However, a small real estate construction company on Somerville Avenue currently owns the property, and they have a different plan for 515 Somerville Avenue.
We bought this land in May of 2014 after, with an intention to improve the site and build housing that's sorely needed in Somerville and just improve Spring Hill.
When residents of the adjacent Spring Hill neighborhood heard about the city's plans, they formed the Save Spring Hill Committee to make their concerns known. Deborah Hughes, a longtime resident of Spring Hill, is among the group of concerned neighborhood residents.
I actually live right off of Park Street, which is the connector to Somerville Avenue, which would be right at the nose of where the fire station replacement would be. It's simply not possible for a fire truck to respond quickly and safely exiting onto Somerville Avenue and going towards Park Street with the level of traffic that comes here now.
Not only residents, but local business owners are concerned about locating a new station at 515 Somerville Avenue.
We actually have a green light coming out of our parking lot, but no one from this direction knows about it. So add into that possible fire trucks leaving, it's just a recipe for disaster. I know there will be new light cycles, there will be new stoplights added, but right now this still is a dangerous intersection. In my 10 years here, I've seen at least 7 accidents.
Chief Sullivan believes the design of the new station would improve access and decrease neighborhood disturbance.
The siren noise coming down Somerville Avenue around the 515 Somerville Avenue site would be mitigated due to the fact that there will be traffic lights that will go off when the alarm sound to allow the fire trucks to exit the station without blasting the sirens as loudly as they do presently. Presently, when they're coming down from the Lowell Street station down Somerville Avenue, the sirens would be really pressed to the floor, making more noises with the air horns to try to move the vehicular traffic out of the way so they could get through the intersection at Park Street and Somerville Avenue.
In order to build the new station, the city would have to take the parcel by eminent domain, leaving owner Vince Bodette in limbo.
The city contacted us, I believe in August of 2014 with their eminent domain plan, and we were flabbergasted, and we've been in a state of flux ever since while the city takes their time and has made no decision and ties our hands up. We have plans in front of the city for residential development here. So we're hoping to build apartments and with a beautiful outdoor green space and gardens and fountains and really improve this area. We see a lot of positives by our project. There'd be millions of dollars in tax revenues generated for the city. We'd be creating jobs. We would improve this eyesight, this eyesore that's been in the neighborhood for 5 years like this. Everyone's tired of it. There's a shortage of housing in Somerville, as the mayor has outlined in his budget and in the summer vision plan, so we'd like to be part of the solution.
The city is making headway in its decision-making process, but there is no definite timeline.
The process right now for the property at 515 Somerville Avenue is in the legislative process. It's going through the Board of Aldermen to figure out what the needs are and how to go about going forward. Once those are all set out there, it will go back into the public domain for discussions amongst the neighborhood residents, and a timeline will be established after that.
The city has considered other sites located on Broadway and near the current Lowell Street station, but has set them aside due to size and building restraints. SNN has been following the student-led protest at Tufts University to save janitorial jobs. Now the university administration has begun to move ahead with proposed staff cuts. Louise Liu has the reaction.
Marching, rally, and a hunger strike organized by the Tufts Labor Coalition have not succeeded in halting the university's plans to cut janitors' jobs. On June 8th, the Tufts administration released a university-wide email announcing the commencement of janitorial cuts and the larger reorganization of custodial staff.
I was very sad and shocked when we received the email that 6 people had already been cut, because that was not something we were expecting. We thought we had until June 15th until anything happened.
Ideally, TLC was hoping there would be no cuts until July 26th, when the current contract ends. TLC does not know how the administration made the decision to move forward. In a statement to Somerville Neighborhood News, Tufts PR Director Kimberly M. Thurler stated, "Custodial staffing decisions are made by the custodian's employer, DTZ, in accordance with the collective bargaining agreement between DTZ and the SEIU, the union representing the custodians. Tufts is not a party to those decisions or agreements."
We think that that's not quite true. The initial cuts were suggested because Tufts wants to save money, so they went to DTZ and said, how can we save money? And DTZ said we can do that by eliminating positions.
Y nosotros prácticamente sabemos que estamos solos, pero le damos gracias a que hay un grupo de estudiantes y que ellos regresaron para estar con nosotros.
Paula Castillo has worked at Tufts as a janitor for 19 years. She says the administration has broken its previous commitment. Rather than temporary layoffs during the quiet summer months, the university has gone forward with permanent cuts. Although Castillo was not laid off for now,
Pues ya los está afectando, lastimosamente ya los está afectando, porque todos los compañeros.
Tufts says DTZ has committed to offering affected employees alternative employment opportunities. But TLC states the few open positions that exist in other DTZ-managed locations are not comparable. Most are only temporary jobs, are far from janitors' homes and inaccessible by public transportation, are part-time and do not include benefits.
No, ellos no han prometido nada de eso. Simplemente que los recortes van.
TLC remains committed to safeguarding janitorial jobs, and janitors continue to reach out to their union for support. SNN contacted DTZ for comment, but the company has not responded. Reported by Louise Liu for Somerville Neighborhood News.
Temperatures are reaching into the 80s, the ocean waters are warming up, and images of snowbanks, buried cars, parking spot savers, and tea delays are melting away. But for many businesses, the severe winter meant harsh financial realities that continue to affect their economic outlook.
Even though the snow is gone and trees are green, many businesses are still recovering from the harsh winter.
In February, we did 25% less business than we did in February last year. So it was substantially less than what we would expect to do. So when we did not have any guests in January and February, and we still had all of our expenses, we depleted our cash reserve, basically, and that is not yet back.
Like Journeyman, many other local restaurants also experienced substantial losses due to the weather.
Valentine's Days of the past were pretty good, but this year's in particular wasn't anything fantastic. I mean, people cancel reservations. I mean, they may be saying they're coming out for Valentine's Day, but I mean, I think last minute changes in plans and stuff like that due to weather conditions.
The city also noticed the business stagnation.
Typically, a lot of businesses will have really big weekends that allows them to just like pay the bills for like 3 or 4 months after that. So, you know, for places, you know, fine dining locations that depend on a Valentine's Day weekend, and they didn't have that, that was really tough, really, really tough. We're a partner with there's a quasi-state agency called Mass Growth Capital Corporation that started a snow loan fund that basically provided microloans that we partnered in helping to promote locally to our business community that you can still apply for actually. It's still open, I think, till the end of July at the least, and they may extend it. The other program, so the Small Business Administration, the SBA, actually has a disaster designation that they do when the disasters are around the country. And just a couple weeks ago, they designated our county, Middlesex County, as a disaster area during that month, which basically means you're eligible to apply. Any business in the county is eligible to apply for another loan program that's actually even more flexible and more generous.
The snowstorm loans range from $5,000 to $10,000. Eligible businesses need to pay back the money in 3 years at an annual interest rate of 5%. Magpie Gift Store took advantage of the loan program.
You have your expenses you have to pay for, even if your rent and your heat and everything. And so if you're not selling stuff, you still have to pay for all that. And so it was a difficult choice. You need to buy new merchandise and pay your employees, things like that. So getting the loan really helped us. It gave us some capital to keep going. In April and in March and April when it was really bad right after the winter, and so very, very helpful.
But for new stores like Beat Creative, which are not eligible to apply for the loan, the owners have to figure out more creative ways to increase business.
So we are a new store, right? So it was our first year. So going through this hard winter was like even harder for us because we were just in the first years of operations. There was one time there were 10 days straight without any sales. After the whole thing was over, we were like, okay, what are we gonna do? We really need to get back on track. So we have done a couple of things. One of the things, the open mic, which you see they're organizing now. So we plan to do it once a month. It's just to create awareness about the store. People can see that we're doing something or something going on there, and they might find out about the store. We're gonna have an open house for classes one day. We want to try to make a community necklace that everyone put a bead on it. That's a sneak peek. We lower the price of the classes. We encourage people to bring their own materials, so that maybe to bring more people in.
Local community groups are also taking actions to help.
We're doing a special initiative called Summer Bliss, which is a way of helping all of our local businesses to recover from the money they lost during this really hard winter. And it's also a great way to enjoy everything that Union Square has to offer at the same time. So the way it works is you use the hashtag Summer Bliss. And when you eat at a restaurant, or you hear music at a club, or you shop at one of our shops, then tweet out to everybody. So it's a way to help to get other people involved at the same time that you're involved. So the hashtag is hashtag Summer Bliss.
Local businesses are looking at all kinds of options to increase business this summer and get back on a solid financial footing. For instance, Cantina La Mexicana is considering installing a patio where customers can enjoy their meals outdoors. Remember hashtag SummerBliss and tweet out your comments when visiting the restaurants and business this month. For Somerville Neighborhood News, I'm Yu Xiaoyuan.
Businesses aren't the only ones struggling with the cost of this record-breaking winter. Municipalities throughout eastern Massachusetts are looking at huge snow removal deficits. Mayor Joe Curtatone presented his 2016 budget proposal to the Board of Aldermen last week. The mayor outlined the financial toll the winter took on the snow removal budget.
As we all know, it snowed, and it snowed a lot. But we were prepared. We were prepared because not just as an administration, but this board worked with us over the last decade to implement prudent, smart, practical fiscal and budgetary policies that put us in a position to meet this crisis, meet this liability, and still make critical investments moving forward.
The city plans to use funds available from other departments, the free cash and rainy day funds, as well as reimbursements from FEMA to pay down the deficit. Through a statewide relief program, the remaining $1.6 million can be paid off over the next 3 years. The mayor will return to the Board of Aldermen in September with exact funding requests. Now, let's see what's in this week's Somerville Journal.
Hello, this week in the Somerville Journal, we'll be checking out next year's budget for the city of Somerville. We'll be looking at efforts to clean up Draw 7 Park after the snows of the winter, and we'll be looking at old clips from SCATV and other local cable access shows through the Community Vault project. You can always find us online at somerville.wickedlocal.com. Follow us on Twitter at VilleJournal, and get in touch with me at 617-629-3385 or datkinson@wickedlocal.com.
As the summer heat rolls in, we all know we're supposed to drink lots of water. Dr. Ira Michelson talks good sense about one of the most common elements and the most important.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Ira Michelson for the Medical Update. I want to talk to you today about a topic that's very important, namely water. We're made up 2/3 of water, so it's something that we have to live. But what is water? Where do we get it? What kinds of water are there? Well, naturally we get water from the tap, but also today there are a lot of other choices. You can actually go out and buy bottled water. I prefer to get the water from the tap. The water coming from the tap comes from the Quabbin Reservoir, which is 65 miles west of Boston. This water is treated and purified along the way so that when we get it in our homes, it is completely safe and clean. It gets tested by the MWRA for chemicals such as lead. It also gets tested for bacterial contamination, and I'm happy to say that there are no cases of bacterial or coliform contamination reported in the last 5 years in Massachusetts. So there's really no need to get the bottled kind of water. The tap water is very safe and pure and healthy. How much should we have? What kind should we have? We should probably titrate it or drink it according to our thirst. Should we have ionized water or purified water? Probably there's no advantage to that. Should the water be chemically treated by a filter? Most of the filters are made of carbon and really don't do a great deal for us. So what I'm suggesting is that the water in Massachusetts is nice and clean and healthy and pure. It costs about a penny a gallon as opposed to the bottled water, which is between $1 and $3 for less than a liter. So drink your water every day and be confident that the water we're getting here in Massachusetts is clean and pure and safe. Dr. Ira Michelson for the Medical Update. Thank you.
You can watch Dr. Michelson on Taking Back Your Health Thursdays at 7 p.m. on Channel 3 or anytime on SCATVSomerville.org. Through the power of sport, the Special Olympics transforms the lives of people with intellectual disabilities. The annual School Day Games at Dilboy Stadium bring students and supporters from around the city together. Louise Liu spent the day with them.
And we're having a great time, boys?
Yes!
Having a great time.
Good party. Special Olympics Massachusetts holds the annual Somerville School Day Games at the Dilboy Stadium on June 4th. Over 150 student athletes visit a variety of sports stations. Brown School PE teacher Ian Colmack has been involved in this special day for years.
I think it's a great day to get the kids outside, to get them moving, to have fun. They get to see all the kids from around the city. It's really a great time for everybody.
How do kids feel about this special day for them?
Happy! 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 Happy!
Besides having fun with the kids, the Special Olympics means more to Colmack.
I learned a tremendous amount, a lot of patience, learn to laugh, learn to have fun, learn to let things go, and just enjoy yourself.
East Somerville Community School teacher Kirsten Spence also takes her students to the field.
Are we having fun?
Yeah. And I got one thing to tell you. First, take a selfie and send it to people. And yeah, the Special Olympics was fun.
Volunteers Macy Miller and Jenna Hopkins always put a smile on their faces when helping out the kids.
It's amazing just to see the kids having fun, and they're doing an awesome job right now.
Even just to see the smiles on their faces, it like brightens your day.
Just to be here to make it the most fun possible, and just the fact that people have put this together, it's important to be here and help, and seeing the kids have a lot of fun.
And it's also great to just give back to the community, help out whenever you can.
And what's the rule? Make a friend and
have fun!
Reported by Louise Liu for Somerville Neighborhood News.
Special Olympics Massachusetts promotes year-round sports training and athletic competition for more than 12,000 athletes with intellectual disabilities. For more information, visit specialolympicsma.org. Here are some of the events coming up in Somerville over the next few weeks, so get out and enjoy, villains. That's our newscast for tonight. We'll be back on June 30th at 7 p.m. on Channel 3. In the meantime, check out our news stories at somervilleneighborhoodnews.org. Also, visit our Facebook page at SCATV SNN to comment and share your favorite segments. Also, you can tweet us at SCATV SNN. We welcome you to get involved, become a reporter, or just share your story ideas. Feel free to call us at 617-628-8826 or email us at news@scatvsomerville.org. I'm Melanie Morris. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you around the neighborhood. Good night.